Well, hey now, this is the running jackal on the Lochside trail. Listening to the honking geese. I'm just about to step onto the bridge over the Blenkinsop Lake. Blenkinsop Trestle, I believe it's called. The bridge with Roy.
Time 40 minutes. Workout at pace 9 minutes 55 seconds per kilometer. Time for hydration.
40 minutes in to my hike. This is a rail trail, so not too technical really. Nice and flat. I'm trying to go for speed today. I was calculating 2 hours at 11 minutes. No, 2 hours at 10:40, I think it was. Excuse me. It's been quite eventful this morning already. I've seen one cyclist wiping out 1 out of 3. There was a little section of frozen boardwalk, and he was the last of the 3, and he must have adjusted his course a little bit because he ended up slipping. I'm just taking a picture of the start of the bridge. Hi. Hello. Yeah, I just seen one guy slip off at that little bridge going down towards Mount Douglas Crossroad. It's completely iced over. Terrible. I guess it must be just the cold temperature of the ground. Anyway, hope you don't slip. Yeah, there is a sign warning us of exactly that. I'm going to take a photograph of the sign just so that we can have this little record of the conditions. All right. I guess they'll be out later and they'll put some salt and sand down. I've got to be careful now when I'm on these bridges because the surface is icy. You can feel your toe slipping away. Yep, I'm glad I'm not on my e-bike today. I'll have to warn all the cyclists that I see about these bridges. Okay, I'm trying to work one hand to get the camera pouch out of its fanny pack pocket. 9:58. I can afford to slow down a little bit now and wrestle with this thing. Mind you, I should keep it out, keep the camera out for the moment, because I'm just coming up to one of the scenic features of this walk. This will act as the trailer for today's show. The long Lochside loop will be the name of the episode. As the geese fly overhead. Another cyclist approaching. I don't want to be influencing their steering. Hello. Another flight of geese as I approach Roy. Beautiful, beautiful lighting. Beautiful lighting for photography today. Mind you, it is 7:30 in the morning, so it should be nice. Sheesh. I wouldn't like to be cycling today. On the wood, yes, it's very slippery on the wood. A lot of people are being advised to stay in. We're trying to flatten the curve, as they say. So the intrepid cyclists are now back on the gravel, so gravel is not likely to be as icy as those wooden bridges. Wow, I'm really getting an air show today. I should have warned her. Good luck on the bridge. She might not have been over one yet today.
Time 45 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 4 seconds per kilometer.
10 minutes 4 seconds average, so I can afford to slow down still a little bit more. I started the recording at 39.5 minutes in. Hello. Can't help thinking about all these cyclists now that I see. Hopefully they won't be trying to change course on the wood. That wouldn't be wise. It's on the back of Garden Works now. This is one of the large gardening outlets. So you're probably just getting to the end of the Jerry Garcia Merrill, what's his name? The saxophonist. My mind is really going sideways a lot lately. Not too sure what that's all about. 16 minutes into my walk and I'm already delirious. 16 minutes into my recording, I should say. Actually 9 minutes into my recording. I could find out the name, but it's eluding me, but I can't really afford to do that. If I take my phone out of its nice warm pocket around my neck, inside my big Welsh sweater, it's going to freeze on me. I don't want that to happen. It'll come to me in a minute. The name of the saxophonist guy. I was given this link by a friend of mine. We share the same passion for the Grateful Dead. More honkin' geese. If I hadn't already chosen the name for this episode, I would probably call it Honking Geese. Merle Sanders, that's the name of the guy. Jerry Garcia and Merle Sanders. So I'm coming up on a nice little section of paved trail. Nice because it's not going to be icy. Doesn't really bother me today. I'm doing this flat out walk.
Time 49 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 2 seconds per kilometer.
Excuse me, 10 minutes 2 seconds. Gotta take another photograph of Mount Douglas. I wish I didn't have so much trouble getting this thing out of my pouch. The camera. I think it's more to do with the sweater. My sweater is bunching up. Bunching up at the opening to the bottle holder on the fanny pack. So it's limiting access. I have to use just 2 fingers to squeeze in to grab it. I might attach a what's it called? Some sort of halyard of string, a rope. I could just pull it out. I hear a jogger behind me. Well, I'm running in short sleeves and shorts. He's a braver man than I am. There is a truck here from the municipality. He might have been sent out to put salt on the wooden trestle bridges. That wouldn't be a bad idea today.
Time 51 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 3 seconds per kilometer.
Okay, 10 minutes 3, and I'm 13 minutes into my recording. So the music is still playing. Excuse me. Merle Sanders and Jerry Garcia jamming. The jazzy jam. It's funny, Norma and I were along here yesterday on our e-bikes. But it was nowhere near as cold as today. Oh well. It looks as if the CRD truck, Capital Region District truck, is doubling back. Maybe he was sent to do something else that I was not aware of. Maybe he unlocked the bollard. That could be it. Once that bollard is unlocked, then one of the trucks can go in and spread some salt. I wouldn't be surprised if someone hadn't phoned the municipality and told them about the issue with the frozen bridges. Talking of frozen, my fingers are pretty numb. Just about an hour into this walk, I left my gloves behind deliberately because I
Workout
knew
average pace 10 minutes 3 seconds per kilometer.
I would have to manipulate my equipment, but I forgot the fact that it is hard to work with cold fingers. That's another factor. Lobe Runner, this is where if I was coming off Mount Douglas, I would join the Lochside Trail at Lobe Runner. This is a dogleg where the road meets the trail. To the right, there is no vehicular passage, one of those 3 bollard setups. And the section that I'm on is open to cars. Just briefly for access.
Time 54 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 3 seconds per kilometer.
For access to the farms. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be all right for timing because the next section is going to be a little more tricky. Coming up on a turnoff at Donwood Park. Donwood Park quite often gets flooded. I've taken various pictures in the past of
2 minutes 56 seconds ahead.
ankle deep
Time 55 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 3 seconds per kilometer.
ankle deep and knee deep water at times. If I was going to the bog, then it would be an issue, but because I'm staying on the raised rail trail, this should not be flooded. If it's flooded, I'll take a photo. Nope, still dry. The drain is managing to keep up with the accumulation of water. So, getting back to the coronavirus. Yep, wave number 2 is hitting. Once again, they're talking about shutting down the ferry from the mainland to the island. Vancouver has seen a dramatic increase. A dramatic increase of cases. I think the problem now is the non-symptomatic spreaders. I mean, who knows if you have it? You might have a strong enough system that you don't feel the side effects of the virus, but you're still contagious. That is one of the big worries now. People are going to be thinking, I'm okay, and they might be, but they might still be contagious. It all boils down to denial. People are denying the fact that they could possibly be infected, and that is dangerous. A dangerous situation. I'm coming up on 20 minutes now, so it should be just perfect. By the time I get to Lochside School, I think that my minutes will be up, and I will say bye-bye to you then. But at the moment, I'll just let you listen to the ambient and not so ambient sounds that will occur in the next few minutes. I do have another tune lined up for the end of this show. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to kick in, but you will hear it. That is all done post-production with the old GarageBand app on my computer. I already recorded the first bit of music.
Time 58 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 4 seconds per kilometer.
As I approach the 9-kilometer mark on this walk. This is not my 9-kilometer mark. This is 9 kilometers from downtown on this trail. 9 kilometers from the Johnson Street Bridge. I'm up to about 6, I would say, 6 kilometers of my walk, of my 11 and a bit kilometer walk. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this walk, but it'll be over 11, that's for sure.
Halfway to your goal.
There you go, halfway. I think I set the thing up at
59 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 4 seconds per kilometer.
at 11.7 kilometers. And if I'm halfway, that would be, that's a complicated one. 5.5 plus 3.5, 9. 9 what? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm just coming up on the hour. I think we heard that 59 was the last call from Samantha. Pretty soon I'm going to be back on pavement. This is the last little bit of gravel that I will do. It is now well damped down, but not frozen. And that's just the wooden bridges, as the sign said.
Time 1 hour. Workout average pace 10 minutes 4 seconds per kilometer. Time for hydration.
There's a rabbit. Very small-eared rabbit. 1 hour in, 23 minutes recorded. No, I'm afraid you're going to have to listen to a little bit of traffic noise. I'm going to be past the Lochside school, which is where the trail ends for me. This trail would eventually take me all the way up to Derek and John's area, up the peninsula. That was the original route for the trains coming out of Victoria going up to Sydney. So the guy with the yellow shirt,
Time 1 hour 1 minute.
the sleeveless guy, is coming back. So I will take a picture of him as he comes back. Take a couple of pictures here while I'm at it. "24 minutes recorded.
Auto pause.
Yeah,
Workout resumed.
he looked pretty old, that guy. Like me. Scrawny old guy with a wrinkly face. So now you'll hear cars once again. Might be a little early for the parents bringing their kids to school. I'm not sure how many of the kids would have come to school normally by themselves, whether the parents are now bringing them to school
Time 1 hour 2 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 5 seconds per kilometer.
by car because of the COVID issue. Who knows? It is worrying, I'm sure, for parents with their kids inside now, especially on a cold day like today. Up till now, they've been taking them out as much as possible so that they're not in a confined space, but it's probably only 2 degrees Celsius, which is just hovering around the 35 Fahrenheit mark. A little bit cold for outdoor tuition. I can feel it in my fingers. Cyclists behind, cyclists in front.
Time 1 hour 3 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 6 seconds per kilometer.
Actually, it's a car behind. One of the things I noticed this morning when I was doing my 30 minutes of indoor cycling on my front enclosed mudroom was that the local newspaper is being delivered. Hello. It was an e-bike with fat tires. The local newspaper is being delivered by a guy driving what's his name of that car, the Leaf, the Nissan Leaf. Very smart move. For that kind of work, the Nissan Leaf is a perfect vehicle.
Time 1 hour 4 minutes. Workout average pace 10 minutes 6 seconds per kilometer.
It's small. It's all electric. Has a limited range, but for delivering the paper, it's ideal because you can plug it in overnight, if necessary, and run it on pennies per kilometer. A lot of newspaper delivery people must be using the Leaf or an equivalent all-electric vehicle. Makes a lot of sense. Yep, I won't go through the schoolyard because that is prioritized for parents dropping off their kids. So this is probably where, excuse me, the music will kick in again. So I won't have to talk over the traffic too much. So the other issue that I was going to talk about today was my heel. My right heel this time. It's giving me grief. I think it was that day that I recorded with John the episode that was called Too Fast to Talk Much. That was the day that I was running at sub 6 minute kilometers for part of the time. And I think to get that extra speed, I was overextending my leg, coming down hard on my right heel. Anyway, it felt a little bit like plantar fasciitis, but it's too far back on my foot. It's not exactly the plantar, but it could be where that fascia attaches to the heel bone. That might be where the irritation occurred. It felt like I had a stone in my shoe, and I stopped the other day just to see if there was a stone. It felt so sharp and so localized. But when I took my shoe off, couldn't find it. It's hard to say whether it was there, and then when I took my shoe off, my sock pulled it out of the shoe. I'm not sure, but definitely when I put my hand in and had a little shake, there was nothing in there. Anyway, there's a certain ointment called Voltaren or something that my wife suggested that I use on my heel. It's a topical analgesic. A topical meaning on the surface, and analgesic meaning painkiller. So it's something that you rub on this irritated skin, and it's supposed to penetrate the skin and affect the nerve that is irritated. I'm not too sure how well that would work, but even if it's a placebo effect, I hope that I feel less pain What I did today before I set out was I put a glob of that particular ointment on the inside of my shoe, beneath the sock and above the shoe lining, so that there would be like a wet patch that I would be constantly stepping on. And with the skin and the sock between the ointment and me, I was hoping that it would affect some kind of massage, or as the English say, massage. The North American would say massage, and the English say massage. All right, 33 minutes. Sorry about the noise, but what can you do? I'm walking too fast today. Here comes the 39. Yep, he's going to pick up a couple of passengers here. Yep. People putting on their face mask, the obligatory face mask. They're not allowed to ride on the bus without one. There it goes. So the Brits, in their ultimate wisdom or whatever, have decided to stop the sale and production of gas or diesel-driven vehicles, cars, I think, and specifically cars. By the year 2030, which is only 10 years away, 9 in fact. That is a pretty bold decision that they have made, which immediately made me think that all these people with their muscle cars are going to hang on to them as long as they possibly can, because pretty soon they're going to become collector's items. It would be an increase in value of these vehicles, the gas-driven vehicles. I'm sure trucks are still going to be allowed. That's why they stipulated cars and not vehicles. But, you know, what's to stop them from just keeping on driving these cars? Hello, little dachshund. Hi. I mentioned this to Norma yesterday on our ride. I said, you know, people are going to hang on to these cars. And she said, well, what's the use? What are they going to be able to drive? And I said, well, as long as they're still selling gas to the public, people will continue to drive their gas-driven vehicles. But then she said quite correctly, well, what if they stop selling gas to the public? Then people would have to scrap their gas-driven vehicles. There will be a transition to all-electric vehicles. But I'm pretty sure that they have now Formula One all-electric vehicles. The power characteristics of an electric motor are phenomenal. They have unlimited revolutions per minute, so they can rev as fast as the bearings will allow them to rev. It's not like a gas-driven car. Anyway, enough said. I have exceeded my limits today. I will take out a little bit of dead air in the middle and leave you right here on Thursday. Bye-bye.